Indo-Lanka fishing controversy.
Fisheries associations in Jaffna staged a protest today, claiming that their livelihoods are severely affected by Indian fisherfolk illegally entering the Sea of Sri Lanka and fishing there. Fisherfolk set out to sea from Vadamarachi East, Vetrilekeni, Point Pedro, Palali, Madakal, Karainagar, Kites and from the Delf Island in Jaffna to stage the protest.
Sea of Sri Lanka.
The Sea of Sri Lanka. This is our sea. However, the Indo-Sri Lanka fishing issue has aggravated. Indian fisherfolk are pillaging our marine resources on a daily basis. Fisherfolk from Point Pedro are preparing to stage a peaceful protest against this. They stress that the pillaging of the Sea of Sri Lanka must stop. We are ready to go out to sea with them. Come with us.
Fisherfolk from 14 fisheries associations in Point Pedro joined the protest.
Right now we are in the sea off Point Pedro. We will be travelling for another 11 nautical miles in search of a solution for this Indo-Sri Lanka fishing issue. These fishermen are staging this protest along the border with India, as officials have failed to come up with any solution to this issue for several years.
ඉන්දියානු සාගර කලාපය ආසන්නයට ගිහිල්ලා තමන්ගේ විරෝධතාවය පළ කරන්නේ.
I asked the Minister of Fisheries, why can't you nab the fishing boats that cross the border? They can seize 50 to 60 boats with the approval of the Ministry of Defence. There are some Tamil politicians who distance themselves when they speak about the issue of the fisherfolk. We ask them to support us in this. Not only Tamil politicians, even the Sri Lankan government is believing the government of India.
Fisherfolk from fisheries associations in Vadamarachi East, Vetrilekeni and Aliyavale staged their protest in the seas of Vetrilekeni.
Our livelihoods have been lost. The government, the Navy and our minister must take steps to completely do away with this practice of bottom trawling.
Fisherfolk from Palali North, Alavai, Kankasanthre, Mailitti and Urani set out to the maritime border with India and staged a protest.
Politicians in Tamil Nadu are the ones who are doing these things. It is with their power that the fisherfolk cross the border. It is alright if they do these things in their sea, but they are destroying our marine resources.
Fisherfolk from Madakal, Sendankulam and Sulipuram went out to the sea and staged a protest.
We have informed India that our fishing equipment and our livelihoods are being destroyed, but they continue to come from India and destroy our resources. This must be stopped immediately. The protests in India should also stop. Also, permitting these fishermen to engage in these illegal practices should also stop. The protest staged by them is of no meaning to the Navy.
Fisherfolk in Karainagar stressed that the government should take steps to prevent Indian fisherfolk from entering the Sea of Sri Lanka. Fisherfolk in Kurunagar set sail from the Kites jetty and registered for the protest at the Karainagar jetty, and they sailed to the border at the Delft Island. The fisherfolk then staged their protest in the area between Delft and Nainathir Islands, an area that is frequented by encroaching Indian fisherfolk. Fisherfolk who set sail from the Delft jetty also joined the protest.
Indo-Lanka fishing controversy.
Over 500 fishing boats were seen docked at the Pamban and Mandabam jetties in the Ramanathapuram district of India. Indian media reported that over 5,000 Indian fisherfolk did not go out to sea today.
The administration of the district has informed our fisherfolk not to engage in fishing activities in a manner that would harm the people in Sri Lanka. Through our fisheries organizations, we have advised everyone not to cross the border. It is hurtful that the fisherfolk of both countries are quarrelling like this. We stopped issuing permits to go out fishing from Pambam because of this protest. Indo-Lanka fishing controversy.
Indian fisherfolk who continuously cross the border and encroach into the Sea of Sri Lanka are apprehended by the Sri Lankan Navy and handed over to the relevant officials. In the first 3 months of 2024, around 88 Indian fisherfolk have been arrested and 12 Indian fishing vessels have been impounded by the Sri Lankan Navy. Fisherfolk in the north point out that the number of Indian fisherfolk encroaching into the Sea of Sri Lanka has increased this year in comparison to the last years.